These honey lemon tea stirrers are easy, affordable, and the recipient is sure to be impressed. And you're going to be impressed with yourself too. These take lots of ingredients you probably already have in your home. The only thing you might need to get is the silicone tray so you can get that cute honeycomb shape. These have been a bestseller in my Etsy shop for years, but I wanted to share the recipe with you because I think it is such a versatile gift. It's so fun to make, and you can use it for stocking stuffers. You can put it in a gift basket. They're great for wedding favors or baby showers, bridal showers, anything like that. When you're making the singles, they come out to only 31 cents a piece. And if you're gonna package them in sets of 3, like I do with the extra bag and the label, this comes out to around $1 a piece. I love this recipe and I think you're gonna too, so let's go ahead and get started.
We need our ice cube tray, some twist ties, which I end up cutting in half, 3 by 5 inch bags. And then if you're gonna package them in sets of 3, you'll need 4 by 6 inch bags as well. And then of course the honey dippers. We're also gonna need a small pot, a spoon for stirring, and a candy thermometer. There are lots of different styles. This is the one that I prefer. And finally, we'll need our ingredients. We need 1 cup of sugar, our 1/3 cup of honey, 2 tablespoons of water, and then the lemon oil is optional. I think it's really great, especially for tea. And we're ready to get started. It's important that once you start this process, you need to commit to doing it because there's no stepping away from it, and it's going to be probably about an hour until you're done. So you're going to add all of your ingredients to the pot, and you're going to get that over medium heat, and you're going to start stirring, and you're not going to stop stirring. Once it becomes a little bit more liquefied, you can add the candy thermometer, but we've still got a ways to go. It's going to start getting bubbly, and then we're just going to wait for it to reach our temperature of 160 degrees Celsius or hard crack. We've reached 160 degrees Celsius, and so we're ready to pull it off the heat. We're gonna let it cool down for a little bit. You can see all those bubbles have gone down and it's getting a lot more clear. And now's the time to add the lemon oil. Start with a 1/4 teaspoon, but I usually end up closer to a 1/2 teaspoon, which I really like. We're gonna mix that in, and then we're ready to start making our little tea stirrers. You're gonna fill each of the little openings about halfway, maybe a little bit more, and you'll get good at judging this as you make them. I think it's good for the top level of the honey dipper to be out of the honey. I just think it looks really cool, but you can fill them all the way up. You don't want to fill them to where they're overflowing because they get a little bit harder to separate. So just kind of experiment. I would start at like half full and then maybe start filling them a little bit more as needed. You can get away with adding a little bit more to ones you've already filled, but it can get really messy, so you just want to be really careful if you're going to try and do that. Here you can see I try to add a little bit extra and I get it all over the handle of this one, which is fine. I mean, it ends up looking okay, but it's a risk, so just be careful if you're going to try and fill them. I think it's better for them to be a little bit underfilled than to overfill them and get it messy. If your candy starts to get a little bit too stiff, you can reheat it a couple times. I usually do it like twice throughout this process, where I just put it back on the stove for a couple seconds while I'm stirring it, and just get it a little bit more liquid again. You'll have a little bit left over just based on how much that ice cube tray will hold. So if you have some sticks, like these are just little coffee stirrer sticks, you can make a couple lollipops, which are really fun. You can just drip it onto the sticks. Lay the sticks out first is typically easier. Or you can just drizzle it on. This is parchment paper, or if you have a Silpat, you can just spread it out or drizzle it over depending on how, thick it is at this point, or if it's starting to cool down. And then in just a couple of minutes, you'll be able to snap it apart and break it into a bunch of smaller pieces. This will start to get a little bit tacky the longer it's left out though, so just keep that in mind. And you might just eat it super quick or get it wrapped up in some plastic so that it doesn't get too much moisture on it. And pretty quick after, within 10 minutes, you're ready to unmold these, and look how beautiful they turned out. They're just so clear and golden, and I think they turn out great. There you can see how a little bit of the top is sticking out, which I think looks really cool. ready to get them packaged. So I do cut the twist ties in half just so there's not a bunch of excess hanging off. Maybe cut a smaller group of them than I did in this video, though. You can see that it gets kind of all over the place. So you cut them in half, and then you're gonna use your 3x5 bags for the individual tea stirrers. They should go in really easy. You know, if you're doing this right away, which is what you should do, they should just go in smooth. They shouldn't be sticking at all. And you want to get it centered on the bottom of them and then just close it up with a twist tie. I prefer to package mine in sets of 3. I just think they look really cute and it makes a little bit more substantial of a little gift, and you have room for a label if you choose to use one. And so I'm using the 4x6 bags, and these will fit 3 of the tea stirrers perfectly flat against the bottom. So you want to make sure they're all right next to each other so that you have enough room to get the bag tied on the top, so that you can see they're all flat there against the bottom of the bag. And then again, you're just gathering it up at the top and using another twist tie to secure that. I label mine. This is a 2.5-inch label, and I just designed this on Canva. It's really simple. You could customize this to whatever event or holiday or anything that you like. And of course, you don't need to use a label, so it's totally up to you and whatever look you're going for.
And there we have it. If you have any questions about this recipe, I would love to chat about in the comments. I would love to know what event you're making them for, so please let me know, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.